to the official first episode of Ghosts and Smokes. I'm your host, Rev, and I am in casual mode. I've been wearing my my Rev hat and contact for a while because last time I was wearing it, it was really irritating my eyes, so I don't know if I have to get a new contact, but we're going to shelf that look for a while. It's more comfortable to, do shows without having something irritating your eye and all that. So, and I know some of you are already sick of me looking at it, remember me as the Rev from way back, and I was doing that for quite a while. I think it was like 8 years I was the Rev on stage. So then I changed the look recently, but yeah. So anyway, enough about that. Welcome to Ghosts and Smokes, and welcome to the YouTube channel. So we'll be working on some YouTube videos. We're going to build up a library of shows, of Cleveland Monster Club special guests, and some of them, hopefully, COVID clears up, we could do some ghost hunts here. I think if we do have any ghost hunts coming up or anything, is probably going to be outdoors, but it's really cold, so unless we get a warm spell, and so I don't think we'll be doing one too soon, but we'll see what happens. You never know. So anyway, I'm going to fire this up a little bit more. This is one of my favorites. I've talked about it when I used to do my silly Rev shows on the Reverend Morbid page back in the day. The CAO Brasilia is a full-bodied smoke. It's really good. A lot of complex, nutty, floral type flavors in there. So it has a really good full-bodied flavor. A little bit of a kick to it, but not too big of a kick. And it smokes down really well. I mean, you can smoke it past the band, and yeah, so it's a really good time. As you can see, got that going there. I try to keep it evenly smoked. I don't know if you can see that, but I do my best. I'm not a professional. I'm not one of those people that are like, oh, I got a YouTube channel. I'm really like good at talking about stoves and stuff. I smoke. Okay. So anyway, enough about that. Yeah, so I wanted to mention really quick, friends of ours, Chris and Kat Barron, hello, if you're watching, of the show Barron's House of Chaos. They're a podcast, and we'll post the links up on there if you see it on their screen. And also, I just wanted to say really quick, I received your comics, so your Dr. X comics came in, and I got a chance to check them out. They're pretty wild. Kind of reminds me of something out of heavy metal, and a lot of violence, a lot of gore here and there, but they're pretty good reads, and I'm enjoying the story so far. And you could check out Chris Barron's comics on Indie Planet. Look him up by name, Chris Barron's, and yeah, check it out. Okay, well, what I want to talk about is ghosts. Well, not so ghosts so much, but ghosts, monsters, entities in dreams. For off and on in my life, I've experienced a lot of weird things. I'm sure all of you out there have some crazy stories as well. But I'm really big on psychology, but I'm also, I also have my shaman beliefs, that the dream world is just another world to dwell in. There's the, like the teachings of in Carlos Castaneda's books. He called it the material world, or the physical world, and the spiritual world. I think it was called the Nagual world, which So the shaman knows how to balance in both worlds. So dreaming is just another another thing. It's like walking, running, sleeping, talking, eating. Dreaming is just another thing you do. It's just your spirit form, your mind, and that is all uh, involved in that process. Um, and I won't go into details about it. I mean, if you want to read more, check out the books by Carlos Castaneda with his teachings with Don Juan Matus on the subject of shamanism and dreaming and so on. So going forward with seeing beings in dreams, a lot of your dreams are just obviously just it's your brain problem solving. It's your brain trying to figure out things. Your brain's always just going. Your brain's always doing things. So it's when you're dreaming, it's like your brain's trying to problem solve and use symbols and people and things and trying to come up with all sorts of stuff. But I also believe though that sometimes you just travel out there. Sometimes you just your spirit just wanders and just ends up in realms or just that's the way you experience certain entities because they can't really penetrate into this world. I'll give you a good example. I had a friend a long time ago. This happened a number of years ago. He was in, just down and out, and he was, you know, I'm not saying he was in a bad place. Just, we get into some serious funk sometimes, and so anyway, I was kind of thinking about it. I guess it must have been on my mind, and I had this dream that I was in my that was in my parents' house. A lot of some of my, I won't say a lot of my dreams, but there are quite a few dreams where my parents' house or one of my houses is my home base. That's where I'm. So even though of course, I haven't been to my parents' old house back in the old neighborhood since 2000, that house has already been sold and someone else lives there and whatever. Um, it's like my home base in my mind, I guess you would say. And someone was at the door, so I went up to the door, and there was this thing there, and it was very strange. And I told Larry knows about it, the Monster Club knows about it, but it was a some kind of strange entity um, that looked like it looked like if you took a dried up corpse and like dug it out from like 50 to 100 years ago, like it was so dried up it looked like you could use it for firewood, but the down to about the torso, then from the waist down it looked like a slug. I just can't describe it. It was so strange. um, and I write these things down because I like writing down the kinds of things that I see because you just don't know. I mean, I don't even know how that could have come about, you know and I don't usually think about things like that. So I'm looking at this thing in a dream and I'm going, what in the hell is this thing? And it just didn't move. It just stood there. But it could talk. But of course, it has no mouth, I guess, so I don't know, telepathy or what. And it mentioned my friend and it was looking for my friend. And I'm like, I won't mention his name for, privacy reasons, but asked for my friend by name and I'm like, okay. I said, he's not here. So, and it didn't move. It just kind of like it didn't accept that as an answer. It wasn't there to hear that answer. It just stood there motionless, just didn't want to move. So I didn't know how to get rid of this thing. I'm like, well, I'm not going to stand at the door and just stare at you. You're hideous. You're weird. You're asking for my friend, and I don't want you here. So I said, well, maybe I think he went that way. And the thing turned around to look, and I slammed the door in his face. And it was like trying to I don't know, penetrate through the wall, like it could walk through walls. But I kind of just willed it to go away, and it left. And now that was just really strange. Um, uh, I've seen crazy things that look like, for the lack of you ever see the movie? And I know you have the movie Legend. Remember when the little fairy guys and Tom Cruise were going through Darkness's lair, and they ended up in this weird room that these hairy, crazy monsters came out of the ground, and they were really wild and insane. I've seen those kinds of things before, and that was kind of crazy. But I think a lot of that stuff had to do with just psychological things. Like when you're under a lot of stress, or something like that. Sometimes you'll dream about zombies or vampires or werewolves or just any kind of monster. So because your mind is trying to conjure up something to represent that, and it's your task to kind of overcome that. So I think it's a little bit of that sometimes, but when you come across some really strange beings, you have to kind of write things down, and really look at the situation a little bit deeper than that and go, I think I'm gonna look past this a little bit more and look into this more and see what it means. Is my friend in so much trouble that it got the attention of something from the other side that maybe wants to pull him down deeper into into a pit of despair, or I don't know what. So, well, anyway, that was a long time ago. My friend's doing really well, and so nothing came of that. Thank goodness. A really quick story too was how I wrote the song "Black Wolf on a Blood Moon" on the Rev stuff. That was right before Jim Kanye died. I had a really bad omen, an omen of death, in a dream where I was in a driveway and I saw this black wolf just walking up to me, and it looked really mean. And yeah, I forgot what else happened, but that's what happened in the dream. Was I experienced this black wolf, and that's usually a bad omen. I took it as an omen of death, and you could just feel it. And I thought, oh my God, someone close to me is going to die. This is crazy. And anyway, it ties in with the fact that Kanye died around a blood moon. I think we had a blood moon, and I was talking to my friend Dennis, and we were right, we were getting that song together. He wrote the music, and I told him about writing lyrics, and I said, hey, why don't we? I said I want to write a song that's kind of metalish in lyric content, because I want to do this for Kanye. But then I told him about the dream, and he goes, hey, why don't you call the song that? After what you saw, plus Kanye dying around a blood moon. I was like, hey, Black Wolf on a blood moon. So that's a little weird story for you. So anyway, I'm going to cut it short here. Thanks for coming on in, and I'm going to sit here and enjoy the rest of this. CAO Brasilia. That's I think is going on. I may have to relight this thing. Anyway, so thanks for joining me on Ghosts and Smokes, and we'll see you next time.